Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, all of my beautiful friends from the internet. I hope each and every single one of you is doing just spectacular on this fine Tuesday morning or whenever you happen to be listening to this podcast episode, whether that be morning, evening, or night. I'm so happy to welcome you to the Reddit Asks Us podcast, the podcast where we read and react to comments from r/Askreddit. Remember, if you're listening to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever else you get your podcasts, please leave us a rating, and also please leave us a review. It helps out the show just immensely. And I know we've had, the show definitely goes through ebbs and flows of listenership, but there's a strong listener base for this one. For the show that's very consistent. I know more people are tuning into the show all the time. So spread the show with your friends. If you enjoy the show, make sure to tell your friends about it. Don't be shy about the show if you enjoy it, because I love doing it, and I like when other people like it. So that's awesome. But thank you all so much for those of you who have been doing that, and thank you for the future for all of those who plan on doing it. So remember, you can answer this week's Reddit question by going to Spotify. You can listen and download episodes for free in Spotify. And by clicking on the description, and you should see this week's question, and you can answer it. And I will read those responses out loud on the next week's following episode. And you will be notified when your response is published. So, from last week's episode again, sometimes these questions are very specific and not everybody has a story for it, which is totally fine. Even if you just want to comment on the show, if you like the episode, or just commenting on the episode in general is totally cool. You don't have to answer the question if you don't want to, or you just have nothing to say. Like last week's episode is a pretty specific question. I don't even know if I would have had answers for stuff like this. But what precautionary measure did you take that saved the day? So we got two responses. One from Stressed Human. What's going on, Stressed Human? I customized my skateboard and took pictures to show friends the progress. Someone called the police saying I stole their board. I showed pictures that I had worked on that board for months. Wow, you kept the receipts. That's what I'm saying. We got to keep these receipts, folks. When we work on something, we better keep those receipts. You want to come at me like I stole your stuff? You want to come at me like I'm some big thiefer person? All right. Well, guess what? I kept the receipts, bruh. All right. So nice try. Next one comes from Phil Savannah. What's going on, Phil? Great to hear from you, Phil. One time, One time I held in a fart that definitely should or would have been a shart. That's awful. Not really. I sharted my pants. But the precautionary measure was keeping extra clothing in my car. Praying for you, Vortex. Okay. All right. Yes, we are praying for you, Vortex. We're all still thinking about you. Hoping that you're doing well. But so nothing. So basically, you didn't do anything. I mean, other than keeping the extra clothing in your car. But by that time, the damage is already done, my friend. By that time, the damage has been completed. Yeah, and now you gotta come back from that. So you gotta figure out. I hope you kept, I don't know, a plastic bag or something in your car. What did you just throw your old clothes in your car? It's going to smell so bad. Oh my God. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, that's awful. I feel bad for you, Phil. Don't worry. You have my sympathies. Oh my God. Yeah, this is, oh my God. This isn't a precautionary measure story, but I remember when I was in the 12th grade and we went on our, we had a outdoor ed trip. So I was in this class, I was in grade 11. Sorry, I was in the 11th grade. And we had an outdoor ed class, which was just like, the class is like a wilderness class. Like you go out and do trips and you stay in camps and you camp and you learn how to do survival stuff and you do first aid training and swimming stuff. And it was fun. It was a cool course. Yeah, the worst experience ever was I was traveling with a group, and I just, like, when you know something's got to come, and you're like, oh, fuck. Oh, not now, not here, not now. In the middle of like this hiking trail where with all these people, and I'm like, I have to just split off into the woods for like 15 minutes. Don't pay attention to me. I'm just need some nature. Okay, just need a little bit of fresh air. It's like fresh air. We're outside. No, I know, but like just breath. Other people's breath is just around, so I just need a little moment of solitude. No, I emptied my entire system in that woods. It was awful. It was terrible. There's nothing you can do about it, right? It's just those moments. It's just you don't have a choice. You really don't have a choice. It's happening, okay? And whether you like it or not. All right, why don't we hop into today's episode? So today's episode is from Askreddit. Again, this is a little bit more specific one. So if you don't have an answer to this, that's no problem. Even if you just want to reply and say that if you like the episode, if you like the show, that's totally cool too. What's something that you did that you later found out was illegal? I feel like maybe, I don't know, kind of did stuff like this when I was a kid. I used to ride my dirt bike around in ditches and random stuff like that, but I didn't know what I was doing was illegal, but apparently you have to have a license to do that. One time, this isn't even something that this isn't illegal per se, but I remember when I was on a camping trip when I was young, I had a cap gun, a cap gun that you just shoots caps like whatever, and it just makes that pop 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 thing. So I was walking around a campground with my friend, and I had this cap gun, and it was like a metal cap gun, like it was a full on metal big thing, and we were shooting cap guns. And we got questioned by this like cop who came in because apparently somebody had phoned in that a couple kids were walking around with a handgun. And so this cop just came up to me. He's like, "What are you boys doing?" And we're like, "Nothing. We're playing with our cap gun." He's like, "What do you got there?" And we had to like explain to him, "It's a cap gun. Like it's a cap gun." And so then he was like, "Why don't you come show me where your campground is?" And then he was like, "Oh yeah, we got calls about you, some kids walking around the campsite with a handgun, but it's just a cap gun." But yeah, we probably scared the living daylights out of some people in that thing. Just like little 8-year-old, 9-year-old kids waving around a gun, a handgun nonetheless. Oh my god. All right, so first one comes from Snoopairs 3006. Almost every day in college, I'd stop at a gas station near my place to pick up a snack, drink, whatever. And on my way out, I would grab a copy of the newspaper from the stand right next to the door without paying for it. Every time. Because my dumb ass, for some reason, thought newspapers were for free. And I was oblivious until my college boyfriend finally saw me do it and it pointed out I was stealing. Oopsies. You're just robbing the joint. You're just like, they must have thought you were if there were some dudes working at the stand, they must have just looked the other way. You must have been a cute girl, because that's I don't know if I would say anything. If I saw a cute girl walk in, she buys the chocolate bar, she just walks out with the paper. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. I'd be like, yeah, it's our little thing. She comes in, takes the paper. She's just the cutest. She comes in and she pays for snack or water, and then she just takes the paper. It's like our little joke. It's like our little inside thing. It's like, no, you're fired because you've let her steal newspapers. You can't let somebody steal. But listen, it's just, okay, it's a thing, all right? It's like, how you have a running joke with someone. It's like, yeah, she steals the papers, just like look the other way. Like, oh yeah, like look at me looking the other way. Like it's like a funny like inside thing. It's like, no, she has no idea who you are. She has no clue who you are at all. That is so funny though. You're just like, okay, and let me just take one of these and just walk on my way out. It's like, well, you have to pay for that. It is something you got to pay for, Even like online news nowadays, you got to pay for. So I think, yeah, generational gap maybe. Reply from $10 ticket. This just brought back a memory from when I was like 7. Every Sunday, my dad would get donuts and buy the Sunday paper from the kids outside the grocery store. I remember this one time we went inside the store to buy something. I saw he had like 50 cents in a cup holder, and I took it to buy one of those gold necklaces from the gumball machine. This was in the early 1990s, and all my favorite athletes, musicians, and cool kids at school had chains. And my dumb 7-year-old ass thought I could thought they got them from the gumball machines at the grocery store. I was never allowed to buy anything from them, so I figured while my dad was shopping, I'd pretend to use the restroom and finally get one. After we checked out, he asked me for 50 cents from his car so he could buy the paper. I told him I didn't have it, but he knew what I did. He asked to see what I bought, and I confessed I bought one of those gold chains and got one that said state. Wait, what? Got one of those gold chains and got one that said state. Okay. I explained that it would make me look so cool because no one else's chain I saw had writing on it. Oh, the word. I seriously thought I was so lucky and was destined to be the coolest kid in my 2nd grade. I vividly remember my dad taking it out of the little plastic egg it came in, laughing and telling me it didn't say state, but Elvis in cursive. I honestly was terrified he was going to keep it and sell it to teach a lesson, but he gave it back to me. And you better believe I rocked that 50-cent Elvis fake gold chain at school for like 3 days until it broke at recess. I've never been as cool in my 39 years of existence as I was in those 3 magical October days rocking my Elvis chain. That's so funny. You thought it said state. State. Yeah. I'm all for the state. Yeah. You're rocking the the rapper chains. I'm walking just one that says state. Big fan of the state. Not a specific state. It's not, Nevada, Wyoming, Georgia. It's not a specific state, just state. Just I'm a fan of state. I'm a big fan of state. You can just sub in whatever state you want. It's not even specific to any sort of state. It's just, that's the beauty of it, right? Wherever you're from, state. It's just let's go state. It's like the Washington football team. Let's go football team. Next one comes from Additional Moose 938. I scanned a dollar bill and printed it out on a computer class in 7th grade. The substitute teacher called the cops. An officer showed up, took me in a small room, and threw an actual book at me. It made me read the entries on counterfeiting aloud. I was super scared, but girls liked me a lot more after I got pulled out of class by the police. Really, though? Really? Pulled out? Is that like a cool thing? I got arrested when I was 12 years old. Well, you're not off to a great start. All right, in life, getting arrested. Really? A cop needs to throw a book at you? It's like, really, bro? Like, it's like, read this. Do you understand what you've done? Okay, well, it's not like I committed murder. Okay, I printed out a picture of a dollar bill on a piece of paper. Okay? It's clearly not a dollar bill. I think if I handed this to anyone at a store, it's not like they'd be like, something is strange about this dollar bill. I would be severely disappointed in that person's abilities to be a cashier. Okay, that's like probably a very basic skill. Is you just like look out for counterfeit anything, right? And someone hands you a piece of loose leaf with a dollar bill very poorly printed on it. It doesn't have another side. You're going to look at... You seriously think someone's going to look at that and be like, something is odd about this dollar bill, but I just can't quite put my finger on it. Well, all right, I'll accept it anyways. Have a nice day, sir. Like, okay. This is what annoys me about the cops, man. It's like, yeah, seriously, you need to intimidate a 12-year-old? I think there are a lot worse things you could probably... get a 12-year-old in trouble for than printing off some fake money. Do you really need, is that really that necessary? And does a teacher need to call the cops? Like, Yes, there's a student right now. There's a student right. Okay, ma'am, slowly breathe with me. What's going on? What did the student do? Came to. He's in the computer lab. He printed off this fake dollar bill. He printed it off. He's out of control. He's out of control. I don't know what to do with this kid. He printed out a fake dollar bill and he's gonna use it. He's gonna use it. He's gonna use it. He's gonna break the law. He's sending a cop here right now. Okay, ma'am, we're sending a cop there. We got the whole SWAT team. We have AR-15s on the way. We're sending in stealth bombers. We've got the situation under control. Okay, ma'am, we got the situation under control. This is the elementary school, correct? Yes. Okay. Yeah, we got the situation under control. Yeah, we got B-52 bombers headed inbound. Okay. Really? I just think that's such an overreaction. Yeah, calling the cops. Yeah, 001134 says calling the cops is a weak move. Yeah, that teacher's a beta for sure. It's like, really? Can't you just be like, you can't do this, and then just like end it there? All right, next one comes from Purple Frequency. I was traveling, and on one leg of the trip, what I thought was a 2-hour layover was actually a 26-hour wait. I didn't have the right visa to leave the airport, and the customs guy said I wouldn't be able to stay overnight, so I asked him if I could buy a visa anywhere at the airport. He gave me a price, but it was in the local currency, and I didn't know the exchange rate. And the ATM would only dispense USD for an American card, so I took out $100 and went back to the desk. I handed the customs official the money and asked, "Is this enough?" It wasn't until I saw him put it in his pocket before stamping my passport and realized I just paid a bribe. Hallow Spite replies and says, where was this? Oh, and then Pacified Peroxide says, I'm betting it was Indonesia. There was a huge bust on airport guides recently where you pay a guy $50 to meet you when you get off the plane, and he escorts you through the airport so you don't have to wait in the lines. It was pretty great before the bust. Yeah, you just fully engaged in what I believe to be is like a federal crime pretty much anywhere, is bribery. But yeah, I love how you go into it so innocently, like, is this enough, officer? It looks like I don't have the money. Or it looks like I don't have the visa. Is this enough? Just you're not even fully aware. You're bribing an officer. So, well, you know what? It's not like you knew what you were doing. So, what if you just pulled you and just arrested the shit out of you? Just like, get on the fucking ground. Hands down, hands up, get on the fucking ground. You seriously want to bribe me? You think you're going to bribe me? I'm unbribable, baby. It's like, well, my apologies. I had no idea what I was doing. Jman552, next one comes from, I took a fake knife to school for a magic show. Planned on stabbing myself, and ta-da, no blood. Unfortunately, showed a friend early in the day, and he ran around recess pretending to stab about 10 kids. Ended up in the office with the police and my mother. 3rd grade, I believe. This was in 97. I'm sure it would have been a hit at the talent show had it not caused a complete panic during recess. It was very realistic. Well, I guess that's kind of the nature of those fake knife things, is they're supposed to be, fairly realistic. Like that like just like my little gun there, my little cap gun. Same kind of thing happened to me. Everyone was like, yeah, this young boy, probably 8 years old, is walking around the public campground, or the private campground or whatever, with a handgun, armed and dangerous, just waving it around, shooting my friend. It's like that scene. I don't know if you guys have seen Semi-Pro, the movie. It's like the Will Ferrell movie, but there's like a scene where this one guy like brings out a gun, and then he's like, "Oh, it's not loaded," and they keep like fucking like dry firing it at each other. And then he's like shooting himself in the crotch, and he's like got it in his head, and he like shoots it in his mouth. And then just like he throws it on the table, and then it ends up a bullet ends up firing around the room. But that's maybe not the greatest. I think if that happened in schools today, I seriously think that kid would have been arrested. That kid would be in jail right now. Yeah, it would be a while coming back from that. This one is like back in 97. It was serious, it was serious, but it was a phew, thank God type of thing. let's just be thankful that really wasn't what we thought it was. But I think nowadays you would never go back to that school ever again. That would have been the last day you were at that school. Probably the last day you were at any public school, to be honest. You would have been banned from them all. But yeah, maybe that's just, I don't know. Bringing the knife to school is a wild move. The fake knife to school is a wild move. I don't know. That's a bit, don't you think, a little bit, showing all your friends, look at you, you're gonna die, I don't know. I don't know if that's the right move. I mean, it's just a little bit of caution there. Sugar Who's responds, schools don't mess around. My son took a laser pointer to school and he was suspended for having a weapon. Okay, that's a little bit over the line. A weapon? Is a laser pointer really a weapon? I don't think it can kill you. And I mean, if you stare at it or if you point it in someone's eye for long enough, it might cause some eye damage. But a weapon? I don't know about a weapon. I don't know if I've ever been like attacked or something and I was like, God damn it, if only I had a laser pointer. I think there's like a bunch of other types of like self-defense tools or weapons that I might put like it's like, I think at the very top, it's like if I wanted to defend myself, I was really getting attacked, life is in danger, I'm probably going to want a gun. All right, that's all I'm saying. And my life is in danger, self-defense comes to worse. And I think at the very, very bottom of the list, even below my last entry, there's like a line that separates it. And below that is like a laser pointer. I think that's just as effective as of a weapon as like a spray bottle of like. I honestly think if you had hairspray on you, that would be like a better self-defense tool. Like if you spray hairspray in someone's face, they're gonna be like, oh, fuck. If you like put a laser pointer in someone's face, and be like, get that fucking shit away from me. Now let me stab you. Yeah, I think laser pointers I don't really think they're selling laser pointers as self-defense weapons in stores. I don't think that's a thing. Next one comes from Affectionate Hat 8483. I helped myself to the candies that were in the bins at grocery stores, the ones where you had to scoop in a bag. And I was like 10 and thought those were candy samples. If only, right? I think that was like every child's dream, was just filling up a bag and just walking right out. I still wish that was a thing. Unfortunately, it is not. But every time I see those things, it always just reminds me of, there's this place in Canada called Bulk Barn, and it's basically just like like one of those stores where it's literally just a store. Like, you know how they have the parts in grocery stores where you go and put up those things, or like shovel the whatever it is and whatever you want into a little bag. And we have the store in Canada called Bulk Barn, and it's just like that is the store. Is just rows of these things that you stick in bags. And it always reminds me whenever I think of those things that I got to go back to Bulk Barn and get some more candy. Oh, it's a treat. It's an addiction. I think that Bulk Barn is one of those businesses that's never going to go out of business, because there are definitely moments where I have had moments of weakness where I've been like, you know what? I don't need 50,000 Skittles, but I mean, they're right here, right? I mean, this is right across the street. Okay. If they didn't want me to get 50,000 Skittles, then they wouldn't have put the store here. Okay. They wouldn't be running. They would be out of business. Okay. So I'm supporting the business. All right. 50,000 Skittles. Why not? Next one comes from Boar Hat. Riding a bike drunk. Apparently that's a DUI. I was on private property though. Yeah, that's a tough one. Although, I mean, what do they call it here? They call it something, a conveyor. That's what it's called. If you are operating a conveyor, you can get DUI. It's such a goofy term, like conveyor. Like it's so formal. Yeah, so I took my conveyor out the other night and I was riding around on it, and turns out I cannot do that under the influence of copious amounts of alcohol. So apparently, I have to show up for my court date because I'm being charged with a DUI, my good sir. Yeah, yeah, you definitely shouldn't ride a bike drunk. But yeah, like a conveyor, I guess, would be something that conveys you from one place to another. I don't even think it has to be like a motorized or like a motorized thing. I think like driving a bike drunk is dangerous. Like what if you wander off and in the middle of the road and you just boom, someone smokes you. So that was, I mean, on private property, I don't know about private property. Can you get arrested for drinking and driving on private property? Is that like a thing? Like if you had a big ass farm and then you just like drove your bike around. You rode your bike on your farm. Can I get? It's like, nice try, officer. I'm riding my bicycle on private property, so I can drink as much as I want. All right. This reminds me of that that video. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that video. It's like this video of where they're. Of course, I'm stereotyping right now. People from the southern United States. So sorry, Phil. I love all my American listeners. But. And don't worry, there's people like that here in Canada too. But I was thinking about it because it reminded me of that video on Instagram where it was like some old clip from a while back where they were interviewing people about when drinking and driving laws came into like Texas and one of the guys was like, or I can't remember if it was Texas or someplace in the southern United States, and he's like now they wanna. The government wants to crack down on everything. They want to make rules up for everything. Now they say that I need to wear a seatbelt when I drive, and that I can't even drink a beer while I'm driving. You know, I can't even enjoy a nice beer while I'm on the road. It's like, no, you can't actually. You can't drink beer. And yes, you need a seatbelt, or I don't know, you might die. Very easily. I think it's been very widely proven that a seatbelt will save your life. A seatbelt will prevent you from dying, and if it doesn't prevent you from dying, it'll definitely prevent you from getting more injured than you would have been if you were to just get in a car accident and basically shoot out the front window. So, if anything, you should be incentivized in wearing a seatbelt. I never understood that mentality of like, oh, I'm not wearing a seatbelt. Seatbelts are stupid. It's like, well, clearly you obviously don't care about your own life that much, because if we were to get into an accident right now, odds are you would be like paralyzed. So I'm not doing this because I want to obey the law. I'm doing this because I don't want to die or become disabled. So that's just my reasoning. All right, I just would rather maybe get a little bit of whiplash instead of not having the ability to use my legs. That's just my thing though. You can make your own choices. Next one comes from Keizuka. When I was in middle school, my dad would give me $20 a week to pay for lunch. I was rarely ever hungry at lunch, so I ended up just saving the money. One day, someone asks to borrow $1 to buy snacks, and they'd pay me back with a quarter as interest the following week. I agree, and it becomes a thing. Next thing I know, more people are quietly borrowing money from me and paying me back, and it kind of snowballs to the point where I even had teachers borrow what? Teachers borrow money from me once in a while. During this period, I had lamented to my buddies that one or two folks who had borrowed from me often were avoiding me because they couldn't pay me back. Someone offered to collect my money for me if they could keep some of what they got. It sounded like a good deal, so I agreed. I eventually stopped doing it because I felt like people were only using me for my money. I tried to reinvent myself. I tried to reinvented myself when I started high school. Years later, I realized I had inadvertently become a loan shark. Yeah. So when I was, in middle school, 7th grade, 6th grade, I was, loaning money out, students, teachers, and then I just started really realizing that people didn't have the money to pay me back. And I wasn't bothered by this. All right. It was a little bit of a chip on my shoulder, it was just a little bit of a bother. And so just one day, a couple boys, who had been loyal to me, comes up and they're like, listen, why don't we take care of them, get the money back, and then we get a cut. And I thought to myself, well, what do you mean by take care of them? Like, you're going to just, like, you're not going to spend more money on them. No. My dad's involved in a similar thing. He just operates on another level. Let's just say that. He operates on just a little bit higher level than you do. But he's taught me the ways to handle these types of situations. Oh, is that why you have that really cool giant ring across your 4 fingers? I've never seen anything like that. A ring that goes across 4 of your fingers. That's interesting. You didn't want just the one ring? I mean, that's like a cool choice. Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about these. I would, let's just say you're going to get your money back. All right, let's just see how you're going to get your money back. That kid just comes to school the next day, his bloody face, bloody knuckles. Yeah, well, we handled it. Yeah, we got it done. Well, bloody knuckles. The other kid had a bloody face. Then you just start thinking, looks like this could be my new business. Dad, dropping out of school. Thanks for the $20. Okay, you didn't realize it, but yeah, I'm Al Capone now, Dad. All right, I'm a loan shark. Okay, you're either the shark of the ocean or you're gonna be the fish of the ocean. Which one are you gonna be, Dad? Which one are you gonna be? You want to loan money from me, Dad? How about me and my 6th grade friends take a baseball bat to your knees? How about that? Yeah, I'm making the big bucks now, Dad. I'm making the big bucks now. I can finally afford the Lego Star Wars Death Star. All right? And that's just business ingenuity. All right, Dad? So, how about no grounding this weekend, Dad? How about I'm not grounded? How about I just do whatever I want this weekend, Dad? I'm going to go buy that Star Wars Lego Death Star. I'm going to build it. I'm going to hang out with my friends past my bedtime. I'm going to have a sleepover. What are you going to do about it, Dad? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. I got a squad, Dad. Where's your squad? Pull up. Next one comes from Roku77. I bought a sandwich from outside the U.S. and didn't eat it until I landed back home and didn't declare it. See, we talk about all sorts of just heinous crime, abhorrent behavior. But this is just inhumane. This has got to be a just spit in the face to all people who have ever followed the law ever. You're going to take in meat from outside of the country. I can't even. Wow. I couldn't even. No. This always happens to us at the Canadian border. Like, you're not allowed to, like, take fruit across. And it's like, really? Like, you're worried? Like, are you seriously worried about my orange? Like, aren't you guys supposed to be, like, I don't know, preventing, like, smuggling of stuff? Like, really important stuff? Like, I don't know, guns or drugs? You really? No. My orange is top priority here. I have to throw out a bag of apples, or else the United States is going to get infected with Canadian apple disease. Oh, this just in doesn't do anything. This just in, they're better. I don't know. Doesn't, I don't think that there's a really. I just really don't think that's what the border agents should be most concerned about. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Well, I'm willing to say that there's a small area for debate in this topic. I think there should be other things. It's like, get the fuck on the ground. You got a fucking bag of oranges. He's got a bag of oranges. Get on the ground. Nice one. You thought you could get away with it, huh? No, this is America, baby. This is America. We're on top of it, okay? The next car comes in. What's this plastic weird material that's like doesn't seem like it's a part of your car, like under your car? Oh, just repairs, fiberglass. You know what? you're good for it. I think I can tell. Okay? You're good for this. You know, I just busted a guy with a bag of oranges. There's no way you could be doing something worse than that. Am I right? Welcome. Okay, yeah. Get your butt in here. It's like 50,000 pounds of cocaine. That's a lot. That's obviously not happening. But anyways, next one comes from OK Room 7243. Went trout fishing and kept about 5 illegally sized trout. The river I was on has multiple different zones with all different legal sizes that people can keep. In some zones, you can't keep trout of any size, and I thought I was in a certain zone. I never got caught, but if I did, I probably would have been fined about $300 to $500 and got the fish confiscated. They're going to confiscate your dead fish? It's like, hand over the fish, buddy. Yeah, deserves to be put back where it rightfully belongs. Just throws the dead fish back in the river. Just, all right, now be free. Be free. Live your life, fish. Just sinks to the bottom. He's tired. He's just napping. He's having a good sleep, getting some shut-eye before his big journey down the river. Yeah, that seems it's like I really trout fishing. This is our top priority here. Like, it's in the same place, but there's different legal sizes. Like, what, am I just supposed to carry a scale with me? 0.2 over. 0.2 over. Looks like you're going to jail, bud. You're going to jail, buddy. How does that feel? How do you lived your whole life free and clean, no criminal record? Well, how does it feel now? You're a felon. Put your hands behind your back. Get on the ground. Next one comes from Mr. Big Brain. Pumped my own gas. New Jersey is an off place. What? You can't pump your own gas in New Jersey? Why? That seems so dumb. It's like his hand is like slowly reaching for the gas thing. It's like, no. Put your hand down. No. He's like grabs onto it. As soon as he grabs onto it, the whole place erupts in a massive explosion. Just fries the face off of bro who's trying to get his gas pump into his car. It's like, what do you think is the, like, I don't understand. What are you expecting? Like, you have to use the machine to get to pay for it anyways. Like, I don't understand. Like, it's not like you just pull the handle and gas just comes out. I feel like this is like one of those old laws that doesn't make sense anymore. It's like, I can't even steal gas. That's not even a thing. I literally need to like put my prepay for it or go inside. Like, I won't even get the gas. Well, maybe not. Some people pay after and they just drive off. Maybe that's why. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe someone from New Jersey can give me a hand on this one. This one seems a little bit over the line. A redditorial comment. Next one comes from, I once built a 3-foot-long blowgun for a target shooting. It was winter and I was bored. I got pretty good with it, so I thought I might use it to hunt. So not being a total idiot, I looked up the legalities of it, and it turns out you can't even own one here. So it's back. So it's back to being plumbing supplies again. Oh, the gun. Yeah, it turns out you just created a ghost gun. So we call in the law as a ghost gun. It's a gun that you just manufacture without, letting anyone know. You just kind of build it. And yeah, you just built an illegal firearm. So there you go. That's now you could have gone to jail probably a while for that. A blowgun though. What is a blowgun? I don't understand what that is. You went to use it hunting, so clearly it's not like a tiny thing. Like, it couldn't have been that small. I mean, it depends on what you were using. You were gonna go hunting with, like if you're gonna go rabbit hunting or something, maybe. But that seems odd. Reply from the real sockhead. In my teens, I shot myself in the lip with a blowgun. I know, right? How the fuck? The darts barely fit in the barrel, so I would just push the dart in as far as I could, but that's only like 4 inches on a 2-foot barrel, so I would blow into the front and push the dart to the back of the blowgun. I was in the middle of blowing the dart back when my friend's dad came around the corner and yelled at my friend for something he forgot to do. He yelled loud and spooked me, so I inhaled. When I jumped, the dart came back out the front end and stuck clean through my lip and hit my tooth. Oh my God. I'm pretty sure I passed out when I yanked it out. Oh my God, that's disgusting. Oh, you mean a blow dart gun? Like a blow dart gun? How are you going to go hunting with a blow dart gun? Are you going to try to take down an elk or something? I think you might, yeah. That makes a bit. That makes a lot of sense why you wouldn't be able to hunt with something like that. Really? Why would you even want to? Like that's awful. That sounds terrible. That sounds very inhumane to hunt with a blowgun, like an Indiana Jones type. Yeah. My 2 cents on the matter. Evening Rock 5850. Next one comes from. When I was really little, like toddler, my mother pushed me in a car, pushed the cart close enough to a fire alarm at the grocery store that my curious hand was able to find it. Owing, I'm sure, to her profound embarrassment and disgust, my mother spent the evening regaling me with tales of how horrific jail would be and how what I did could lead me there. Wow. Okay, so your mom, yeah, all right. This is just like, really? This is just like the dollar bill type of thing. You're a kid. You went and grabbed the thing. You don't know. It's like, well, how about I take you to jail? You ever seen Beyond Scared Straight? We're putting you in Beyond Scared Straight. Yeah, my name's Brandon. I'm here because I physically abused my little brother, and I assaulted him, and I assaulted my mom, and I assaulted my dad, and I started a fire, and I burned down a building because I just wanted to watch it burn. I don't really have feelings. I kill animals. I don't really care about anything at all. I don't have any feelings. I'll probably kill a person. I'll probably kill you, honestly. Okay, Brandon. All right. Next one. Next talking head. And your name is... Oh my God. I pulled a fire alarm. I'm so sorry. Please don't kill me. Please don't arrest me. I'm gonna die. It's like, yeah, and the mom's just watching behind the glass thing, like, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Let that man spit on your face. See how you like it. Yeah. Let him come very close to physically assaulting you. Let him scream so you lose decibel hearing. Noticeable decibel hearing in your ears. There's a noticeable difference now because this man screamed at you and damaged your eardrum. All because you wanted to be smart. Pull the fire alarm. Yeah, well now see what happens to criminals like you. Now see what happens to degenerates and just the most vile and nasty people on this planet. Yeah, do whatever they want. Think that the world's theirs. Yeah, you think the world's, you just walk all over it. All right, you think the world just conforms around you. Yeah, well now, how do you feel? You scared? Yeah, never pull a fire alarm ever again, buddy. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Max C. Webster, next one. I thought the postcards in the hotel lobby were free. When I showed my mom in the car, she said it was stealing and I had to give it back. On my way back out of the hotel, I walked through their plate glass window. I have scars all over my body now, including one right between my eyes. What the fuck? Lesson learned. Doing the right thing will try to kill you. Yeah, it sounds like we should start maybe doing the wrong thing here. This is That's an interesting one. It's a little bit counterintuitive to what we would have thought. So maybe this whole podcast has been, maybe we need to just really start living life on the edge now. Steal those postcards, Steal that newspaper. Right? It's free. It should be free. Otherwise, you never know. You might walk into a glass door and scar up your entire face. Clearly joking. Don't steal. I'm not condoning any illegal behavior. Last one here, Icy Fix 785. When I was 18, my grandmother passed, and I had to go to her funeral in France. I wasn't attached to her since we only met twice, but we needed a member from the North American continent to make an appearance. I was the volunteer. Turns out she had passed in a small room in an ancient family home in the French countryside. Next to her death room was a huge room full of old bottles of alcohol. No one wanted them. I was 18, so I volunteered to check the booze. I found a bottle of very old absinthe, over 100 years old. The seal was intact, so I decided to bring it home to NA, Nevada. I later found out that absinthe would have counted as a narcotic because of wormwood. I only claimed one bottle of alcohol to customs. I still have it 18 years later, and it tastes disgusting. What is wormwood? Is that what the hell? Because of wormwood. Common wormwood is a perennial herb used in the alcoholic beverage absinthe and vermouth. The bitter tasting plant has been used for centuries. Is it toxic to humans? It may be poisonous. It says, if you are breastfeeding, don't use wormwood until more is known about safety. Don't drink alcohol when you're breastfeeding. Yeah, probably not. You probably shouldn't drink alcohol when you're having a kid. Why is wormwood? I want to know, why is wormwood illegal? I don't like that name, wormwood. Absinthe, was banned beginning of 20th century. As consequences, supposed unique adverse effects. Nearly century-long absinthe has seen a resurgence. Okay, I don't know. Doesn't seem, I don't know, maybe it's not illegal anymore. It's not a powerful hallucinogen, who knows? But either way, bud, they're going to crack down on you for bringing in wormwood into the country, okay? No wormwood, all right? We've said this a million times. It's no guns, no coke, no fentanyl, no meth, and no wormwood. How explicit do we need to be about this, okay? No wormwood. Otherwise, you're going right to federal prison, buddy. Going right to the Fed, okay? Enjoy that. Federal penitentiary there for you. Put you on death row. Just let you hang out with all the murderers. Think doing what you're doing is okay. Time to live in the reality, bud. Time to live in the real world. All right, thank you all so much for tuning into this episode of the Reddit Asks Us podcast. I'm so happy again to be here with y'all on another beautiful Tuesday. Remember, if you're watching this podcast or listening to this podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever else you get your podcasts, please remember to leave us a review, and a rating. It helps us so much. And remember to spread the show to all of your beautiful friends who also use the internet. Remember, you can answer this week's Reddit question by going to the description of the episode in Spotify, clicking the description, and answering this week's question. I will read your response aloud on the next week's following episode. So thank you all each and every one of you for listening to the show this week, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Peace out. Love you. Goodbye.